Hurricane Helene is going to be causing widespread damage throughout the state of Florida, unfortunately. So I am creating this video to help homeowners know how to handle their own claims, etc. This is Mendy with My Insurance Claim Expert, here to help you with all your insurance related questions. So once the hurricane is over, if you do have damages, the first thing you want to do is assess and determine if it makes sense to file a claim in the first place. If you have minimal damage of a few $1,000s, it's probably below your deductible, and even if it's not below your deductible, it may not make sense to file a claim. On the other hand, if you have a significant amount of damage, you want to make sure your insurance company is going to pay your claim properly. So the first thing you want to do is assess all elements of your property to see what damage was done. Of course, understand you may think that the damage is minor while insurance may owe you significantly, and a common example is you may have a little bit of damage to your roof where you can just patch it for $500. However, then it's going to be patched, noticeable that it's patched, and your insurance company would owe you to replace your entire roof. So it's always a good idea to have an expert come in and assess the damages. Once you do determine that the amount of damages is significant enough that it makes sense to file a claim, it's going to be significantly more than your deductible that you should recover, etc. What you want to do is you want to document the damages. Take photos and videos of it. At best to have those photos time and date stamped. In addition, also take photos and videos of the surrounding neighborhood properties, the ones surrounding you, because this will show evidence. It will help show evidence that your neighbors also were affected. This is obviously severe damage in the area. The next thing you want to do is you want to take steps your policy requires you to prevent further damage. That means within a reasonable time you want to take steps to minimize further damages. For example, if there's a hole in the roof, you want to make sure that's covered. If the window's blown out, you want to make sure that's boarded up, etc. What's a reasonable amount of time? So typically it's 7 to 14 days. However, after a hurricane, it's understandable. You may not be able to get the supplies so fast. You may not be able to find the people to do the work for you, etc. So if it takes a bit longer, that's okay. The next thing is you do not want to dispose of damaged items, because your insurance company has the right by the policy to investigate and see what's damaged. So if you have damaged contents, if you have damaged chairs, whatever it is, you can stack it off in a corner of the yard, so that the insurance company can still see it, but it's best not to dispose of that yet until your insurance company either inspects or they tell you, hey, don't worry, take some photos and we're fine with you going ahead and disposing of it. The next step you're going to do is contact your insurance company, let them know that you have a claim. Go over as much damages as you're aware of. Of course, emphasize that you're not an expert, you don't know all the damages, but these are the damages that you are aware of. And there's probably more damages than what you're aware of. You want to then prepare a list of all your damaged items that you're aware of, write it all down, write down your claim number, etc. And then following that, your insurance adjuster is going to have a field adjuster contact you to inspect your property. Now, I want to emphasize when that field adjuster comes out there, make sure you emphasize, I'm not an expert. I want you to do a thorough inspection. I want you to investigate everything, windows, doors, roof. I want you to come inside the house, etc. A common mistake is homeowners say to the field adjuster, hey, we're not aware of any damages inside the house, so we don't want you coming in the house. Okay, or inspect, we're not going to be there, go ahead and inspect without us. You do want to be present for the inspection so that you can make sure they're documenting it correctly, and you also want to make sure that they do a thorough inspection and they do come inside and outside. I would also suggest that you keep a book documenting everything you did from day one of this claim, where you were at when it happened, what damages you're aware of, what time you called the insurance company, when the adjuster came out, and even document when the adjuster is out there, what time he showed up versus when he was scheduled to show up, what time he got on the roof, how much time he spent on the roof, how much time he spent on the exterior, how much time he spent on the interior, anything he may have said that can be helpful for your claim, etc. The adjuster is then going to go back and file the paperwork with the desk adjuster. Now, I wouldn't just leave it at that point. Remember, squeaky wheels get the grease. Make sure you're calling at least once a week to say, hey, what's what's going on with my claim, etc. Now, I'm going to give you a tip. By Florida law, they're required to provide you a copy with any estimates created within 7 business days, within 7 days of the estimate being created. What that means is even if this isn't the final estimate, because many times the desk adjusters are going to adjust that estimate. I hate to say this, but yes, quite likely they may be removing significant items that the field adjuster put in there. You're entitled to that original estimate. So when you call up, the first thing you want to do when you follow up is, did the field adjuster write an estimate? Yes. Great. Please make sure that I have a copy of that estimate within 7 days as required by law. In 7 days, if they haven't provided it to you, you call back and say, hey, that estimate was due, where is it, etc. Now, another important timeline to understand is 60 days. The insurance company is supposed to provide you with a claim decision and payment of your claim within 60 days from the day that you report it. Unfortunately, this doesn't always happen. That being said, after a large hurricane, they can justifiably say it takes a little more time due to the circumstances, but they are required to try to get that to you within 60 days. Once the insurance company comes back to you with their estimate, they're going to provide you a payment. And that's the point where you basically need to see, did they pay you properly or not? Of course, there's a lot you need to document to make sure your claim is handled right. If you have any questions, we're here to help homeowners who want to handle their own claims properly. We're here to give them the answers so they can handle the claims themselves, of course. If you'd like to make sure your claim is paid fastest and for the most that they owe you, I'd always recommend hiring a public adjuster, and you can always reach out to us with your questions at pantherpa.com. If you